What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video on the Soul Therapy channel. Today I went sneaker shopping all on the north side and got some fire kicks. The first store I hit up today was Uprise, and they got the restock of the Nike SB Court Purple J-Pack, and oh my gosh, I finally got my size in the SB. These are so fire too. The crazy thing is I slid to the store pretty late. They opened at 12 and I showed up around 3:30 and they still had a size 12 available in stock, which was low-key a miracle. I'm super excited about that pickup and expect a video on those SBs very soon. I think the last SB that I was able to get my hands on were the Gardenia, and I also hit on retail for those. For those of you wondering, this is Milwaukee and they got a bunch of great stores on this street. And man oh man, people were out shopping today. This place was packed, and that's going to be a common theme throughout this video. People were just out thrifting and trying to find deals, which I definitely respect. I mean, it's what I do, and it's on a weekend, so it's to be expected. But that does mean that a lot of the great shoes were probably scooped up already. They did have some Jordan performance models and some Air Forces, but I wasn't seeing anything too crazy. I like Buffalo Exchange because they're usually really fair with the prices. This Air Force One they wanted $40 for. I honestly think this would be good for like a $20 shoe. It was my size, but I still have a pair of Forces, even though they are pretty cooked. They had some New Balances, and these look basically new, so that's definitely a nice little find. And then they had these Air Max 90s that they wanted $70 for, and brand new with the box, they go for around that same price, so not really a deal. Next store I slid over to is one of my personal favorites. This is Round 2. I've been going here for years, y'all. Even before I was making content, they had some Nike Dunk Low in the Coast colorway, pretty clean. Some Yeezy Calabasas, brand new. I mean, the materials on those feel so weird. They had the Why So Sads. These were used. I believe they were my size, but for $200, definitely not worth it. They had some Jordan 7s, and then they had some Joe Fresh goods. I think these are the 4090s, 4060s. I always forget. It's literally becoming a common theme. They're one of those numbers. They had some Black Cat 4s in my size. I believe it was $350, which isn't too bad, but I still think this shoe is very overpriced for what you're getting, but not a shoe that's not overpriced. For $150 for these Jordan 13 playoffs, such a nice shoe, just a little bit too big. If it was a size 12, I definitely would have copped. They had some Court Purple Jordan 1s. I already got some Court Purple Dunks, so I feel like I really didn't need those, but that was pretty nice for $150. They had some Bread 4s that were used for $350, honestly a little too overpriced in my opinion. And then they had some Celadon ACG Nike Dunk Lows for $250, not a bad price either. So then I slid to the register to see what kind of heat they had. I wasn't seeing anything too crazy, so I decided to go upstairs, and they had some really nice clothes. This vintage shop that they have upstairs is only open on the weekend, so I often don't check it out, but a lot of the stuff is really overpriced, I won't lie. Really cool items, just not willing to pay $80-90 for a vintage t-shirt in my opinion. So then I slid over to Crossroads Trading, and I found some 9060s. I believe that's the right number. We're getting better, I'm getting there. And that was a really clean colorway. And then they had some AJKOs in the Chicago colorway. Honestly, the AJKO is not my favorite Jordan at all. I honestly don't like them. I remember as a kid seeing them in store and just being super excited that I thought had some like nice Jordan 1 colorways, and then just being disappointed by them being AJKOs. If you like them, to each their own. I mean, they're not a horrible shoe, it's just the materials I can't do. They had some Bel Air. I believe these are Donovan Mitchell's. These were pretty cool to see. And then they had this brand that's called UXC Mentale, and I looked it up, and it's an Argentinian-run small streetwear brand. And I thought it was fire. It would match perfect with my Court Purple, so I decided to cop it. So then I slid over to St. Alfred, and they had some crazy-looking Cortezes. I mean, that green turf upper is pretty insane. They had a bunch of Vumeros, and they had the brand new Nike Dunk Low, the women's version that I believe glows in the dark. They had the Stussy. Are these Air Flight 89s? I believe that's what the name of that model is. They had some Air Jordan 1 in the Gore-Tex model, a really nice colorway, a bunch of Asics. You know, Asics has been popping off. They had some Stussy items that were pretty clean, some 9060s, and then I slid over to Adidas store in Wicker Park. I wasn't expecting much from Adidas because low-key, they really don't have a lot of nice stuff here, but they did have the sporty and rich Adidas Samba collab, and the materials on these are super nice. I was a big fan of that red colorway that I just showed. This yellow colorway, I wasn't really feeling it particularly. They had a bunch of CL Responses. I think the CL Response is a really dope shoe, very similar to those New Balances that we've been seeing a lot recently, and the P6000s. I feel like the dad run trend has been going crazy this year, and I think it will continue to go on for all of 2024. I'm just not personally on it. I prefer my leather shoes, and that's how it's going to be probably to the end of time. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and leave a like.